Today we're catching some sun and waves with Ann, a QHS member whose life is as vibrant and refreshing as a seaside breeze. What currents brought her to the sunny shores of the quantum shift? Let's surf behind the scenes to see the waves she's been riding.
Hi, my name is Ann, and for 63 years I have been challenged with a weak immune system, which is directly tied to my empathic abilities. So I have been studying this intertwining relationship of how being connected to others also is affecting the health of my body through a weakening immune system. Something that comes to mind that explains why I'm here with quantum healing systems is the writings of Florence Scovel Shinn, and it's about love. So every man on this planet is taking his initiation in love. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. Ouspensky states in Teridium Organum that love is a cosmic phenomenon and opens to man the fourth dimensional world, the world of the wondrous. And for me, that has been what my journey is truly all about. Opening up the world of love, understanding what love really means, and it's all tied to my immune system and my empathic ability. Welcome to my journey on the quantum path, and I am so happy to be here with Quantum Healing Systems.
Hi, welcome to my backstory. You would not believe how long this is taking me. So, here we go. I was born in 1961. I was raised in the 60s and 70s. My family came from Scotland on my dad's side of the family before the Revolutionary War. And my mom's side of the family came from France, and they have quite a colorful history. They actually had to leave France, but we won't go into those details. And came up through Kentucky and were doctors and lawyers and such. And then my mom's side of the family, they came over from Ireland during the potato famine, and they settled in Missouri, which was where my great-grandparents met. And there's quite a colorful story with that whole side of the family. As the story goes, they moved out to California during the Depression, and they loaded up my grandmother and my great aunt and uncle into a Model T, and at Christmas time, and before the snow flew, they went down through Texas and landed in Southern California. My dad's side of the family, they also immigrated from the East Coast and wound up in Southern California during the Depression. So I was raised around this huge family of great aunts and uncles. I was the oldest of four, and my dad worked with his dad. They had a flower delivery service. My brother is 18 months younger than I am, and my sisters are 5 and 9 years younger than me. So there's a lot of difference between me and my sisters. As time went on, we moved. We moved up to a small city in Northern California. My dad wanted to escape the smog and the traffic, and I think part of it was because of my health issues. And I grew up in Northern California. My grandmothers and I were really close, and all of my extended family, for that matter. I was surrounded by family and loving friends, and it was a great time to be in LA. The 60s were just a great time to be in LA. I had a lot of freedom. I went to the park. I went swimming. My mom put me in swimming lessons with my brother. We spent a lot of time at the beach. We spent a lot of time on the lake. My dad loved to water ski, and so I have a lot of memories of camping and water skiing and being surrounded by a lot of family and cousins and all of that. It was magical. But I did have some health challenges. I was born cross-eyed, and I had severe buck teeth, and I was pigeon-toed. So mom put me in dance when I was 3, and she also put me into a hula class, which I still dance hula and Tahitian to this day. When I was 9, I needed to have eye surgery to correct the cross eyes, and that was kind of a scary challenge, being in the hospital when I was 9. But the other issues were I had a not such a great immune system, and I've learned a lot about the immune system because of that. But needless to say, I used to have really bad allergies, and so one of my memories going down to the CV swimming pool and on a smoggy day where you could cut the smog with a knife, which is probably why I went into air pollution science later on in life, which I will get into. However, I would come home from the swimming pool, and before asthma was a thing, I know that my eyes were swollen. I felt like I had a lead weight on my chest, and it was pretty bad. And I think a lot of my choices and how life fell into play later on have to do with those experiences with my immune system as a child and my allergies. So when I was 9, my dad decided that he wanted to move us up to a small city in Reading. And I didn't like that very much. They moved us away from all of my family and my friends, and I loved my school and my teachers, to a place where it wasn't quite so welcoming and there was no family, and it was before cell phones and FaceTime, and so the separation anxiety was pretty intense for me. We lived in that small city for a while until my dad bought a business in a smaller town to the west. And those years of kind of feeling isolated and alone and not welcomed ended really fast. I was welcomed by my classmates. I was very active in choir, and I also got involved into cheerleading, and that kind of fed my need to dance. I also got a horse, and I loved horses, always loved horses. That was a huge love affair that I always had with horses. So I got to ride all over the Alps and on the logging roads before you really needed to worry about things in the small county where I grew up in. It was a magical time, an absolutely magical time. I did have some issues with my immune system, and I remember getting chickenpox when I was 16. My mom sheltered me from chickenpox, but my little sisters, they got it and I got it. So my 16th birthday was spent not feeling really great, and it hit me really hard. I still have the scars from that experience. I was a people pleaser. I was raised Catholic, and so I pretty much did everything that everybody else wanted me to do at that time. Although I was very independent and I loved nature. I loved being out in nature and riding my horse and doing all those independent things. And I got married right out of high school, and I found there were 2 of me. And anyway, I was pregnant at 6 weeks out of high school. I have 2 sons, and I love them dearly, and I have 4 grandchildren who are all in college. I am the first woman in my family to graduate from college and own her own home, probably. So it's been an incredible journey. The marriage was hard, and we had to go into the Air Force. My husband at the time had to go into the Air Force, and I needed to make some decisions. I had 2 babies, and I had been going to school part-time, and I had a little part-time job as a teacher's aide working with disabled adults. And I found that I needed to do more. We were stationed at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, and as an enlisted man's wife, there weren't a lot of opportunities for me, and I needed to get a job or find a different alternative, and the job choices were not ideal. So I went ahead and I went to school. I figured out a way to do it, and I got through. I had a lot of support. Somehow people showed up to help me with the boys and to help me with me. And I got through with a degree in environmental studies and biology. When environmental studies wasn't a thing, I realized years later that there were 2 Anns. There was the Ann that was living in the marriage. My husband was an alcoholic, so I was an educated codependent. That's a thing. Believe it or not, it's hard to believe. And the other thing is that I had this great career in air, and I worked for the state of California for 30 years, and I loved it. I did some amazing things. I wrote a short book called Hard Hats and Heels, which goes into more detail, but I was able to start exploring the immune system, which mine wasn't all that great, through the Toxic Air Contaminant Control Program and writing regulations on incineration and dry cleaning. And then I went off and I did open burning and open detonation, and I did vapor intrusion for Department of Toxics and with Office of Human Health Environmental Services, OWEHA. And that was awesome. In fact, my son just asked me about a project that I had worked on that involved indoor air and open burning and open detonation both. So we had quite the conversation, and it's amazing how the things that I did and I enjoyed are coming back around. It was just great. I've had a magical life, and I think that is the thing I want to focus on, is that the fact that I had a magical life, and focus on that. I love to dance. I love to paint. I enjoy writing. I enjoyed my work as an environmental scientist. I enjoyed being a mother, even if I wasn't quite present. I enjoyed being a grandmother. And my health challenges are just that. They're a challenge that I am overcoming. I understand the immune system. There is a lot to it. I was not a breastfed child, so I know for a fact my immune system was never turned on. And I'm looking forward to the future. My life is like Natasha Bedingfield's song, Unwritten. It truly is. All of the missing pieces that I haven't talked about who I am and where I'm going, are in that video. It's all there. So if you want to know more about me, do that. Go and check out that video. And I love QHS. It is right in alignment with everything I researched, and I am so excited for the future. So go out there and have an unwritten story every second, every moment, because that's what I'm going to do. How about you?
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.